What's up, everybody? Welcome to Human Innovation Tarot. My name is Eddie with Imagine Life Development Center. And in this video, I wanted to share a powerful and potentially life-changing meditation that if you play full out and you participate full out, this meditation has the ability to have some pretty profound effects on your life. I've seen life-changing results with people who have, fully immersed themselves in this exercise. So what is a cord cutting meditation, first of all? So the purpose of this is kind of twofold. The first thing is for us to get connected to our power source, connected to the divine that's inside of every single one of us. We're all part of the divine. In fact, your soul, your spirit is essentially the divine. It's just that many of us spend most of our time out here living in our head or living in our ego, just living doing the everyday life stuff, going to work, paying the bills, dealing with our children and all the things that we have to do in terms of, our lifestyle, practicality, and basic living and all that kind of stuff. And so the purpose of this is to, balance us out between, bring balance between our head and our heart, and really to get us more connected to our heart. And when I say our heart, I'm not just talking about our feelings and emotions. I'm talking actually going deeper than that. I'm talking about going into essentially this spiritual space. And I know that it's kind of hard to describe, but it's really quite literally connecting to the divine inside of you, right? And it'll make sense, in the meditation or throughout the meditation. If you play full out, it'll make sense because once you start connecting there, you'll feel the shift in your body. You'll feel everything becomes very, very different. And again, it's not just about, feeling feelings or those types of things, right? Because when we hear people talk about, going into your heart and your heart space and that kind of stuff, I think most people can, it's just kind of a generalized idea that it's about feeling things. Now, of course, I'm not saying that you're not going to feel things. I mean, we're always technically feeling something, but that's not the purpose of this, okay? The purpose is much bigger. It's much greater. And so the second purpose of this is clearing out old energy and old mindsets and old paradigms, basically anything that's outdated, that's not serving our highest good, whether it's, stuff that we haven't healed from, whether it's trauma, whether it's beliefs, whether it's mindset, anything that's going on, that's lingering in our energetic field, that's lingering within us, that's been keeping us stuck, keeping us in the past, keeping us tied to, outdated beliefs and things that are just not serving us, or things that are limiting us, limiting our power, things that are keeping us stuck or keeping us low vibrational, addictions. I mean, it could be literally anything. And so what we want to do is we want to clear out our energy, and simultaneously, and this is the beautiful part of this exercise, is while we're clearing that old energy out, this is why it's called a cord cutting exercise, is because you're cutting the cords of things that no longer serve you, energetically speaking, and simultaneously we are inviting the divine inside of us to enlighten us and to give us new information about the pathway forward. So we're really kind of killing two birds with one stone here. We're cleansing our energy, we're healing ourselves, we're removing things that are no longer, in a vibrational alignment with us, which essentially removes hurdles, obstacles, challenges, all those types of things. And we're also asking and inviting the divine to come show us, to teach us, to guide us, and reveal to us what it is that we can do, or what our power is, or how to move forward. And it's very powerful because sometimes people get some very profound insights. Sometimes they have radical breakthroughs. Sometimes they experience healing in their body. Sometimes they get freed of things that they felt attached to, even if they even wanted to, right? But they've just kind of felt like powerless to get rid of an energy or release a past person, or release a trauma, or release a bitterness or unforgiveness, all kinds of things that can be released, and it can potentially have miraculous effects here. Okay. And it's not me, I'm just the person going and guiding through there. So, it's you. You're the one who creates this change. But again, it requires you to play full out and to participate, with full effort, essentially. So what you're going to need before we start the video here, there's a few things you're going to need to participate in this exercise. The first thing is, I highly recommend that if you're going to do this, find a space where you can be, preferably by yourself. You're not distracted for at least an hour, and you don't want like noises or family members or your roommates or wherever you are, or your phone or TV or anything that's going to cause distractions or keep you in your head because you're worried about, oh man, I don't want to do this meditation in front of my family and my friends because they're going to be looking at me. Like, you want to be in a place where you don't have to worry about anything. It's nice and quiet. You're by yourself and you can just focus on you, and you can just, focus on the meditation. So that's the first thing. Find an environment and a place where you can not be distracted and you can immerse yourself. The second thing you're going to need is you're going to need at least 2 pieces of paper. It can even be as small as, it could be a note card, or it can be even Post-it notes. You don't need a lot of space, but you do need 2 separate pieces of paper of some form to write on. You're going to be writing some things, and on 2 separate sheets of paper. You're going to need a lighter, because you're going to burn these 2 pieces of paper at some point in the meditation. And then the obvious thing, and if you don't have a lighter, you can just, go in your kitchen and you can turn your stovetop on really, really high. And, paper should burn if you hold it against your stovetop when it's on the highest setting. Obviously, the third thing that you're going to need is either a cup or a bowl to stick the piece of paper in, so that it can burn without catching something on fire. Or if you're in your kitchen still, it probably should be safe to set it down in your sink, and you can burn it that way. Now, obviously, I shouldn't have to say this. It's common sense, but you never know. Don't burn yourself. Don't burn your house down. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything crazy. Be very, very responsible when you're playing with fire. And, just obviously, don't burn your house down. Don't burn yourself. Okay. So those are the items that you're going to need, because you will be writing things down and you will be burning those pieces of paper. Is there anything else? I don't think so. I think that's everything. So I just want to say, if you play full out, I congratulate you, because this, it takes courage sometimes to do something. It takes courage, to confront those parts of ourselves that can be scary sometimes, or sometimes it can be courageous to set aside time, to make time for ourselves, to do something that is spiritually valuable. It's personal development, personal growth, spiritual growth, right? And so you're actually investing in yourself in a very powerful and profound way. So with that being said, without further ado, we're going to get to the video now, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, so to begin this exercise, what I need you guys to do, I need you guys to place your hand over your heart. Obviously, sitting, standing, whatever's comfortable for you. Just find a place where you feel comfortable in your body, sitting, standing, it doesn't matter. And you don't have to close your eyes, but if it helps you to minimize distraction to close your eyes, then I would recommend closing your eyes. And I want you to bring complete attention and awareness to your heart right now. Place your hand over your heart. And I want you to bring complete awareness to your heart. I want you to feel everything that's going on in your heart center right now. And if it helps for some of you, you can gently move your hand in a circle, or if you like to gently pat over your heart, any type of movement, again, that feels comfortable for you. Anything that feels comfortable for you. As long as it brings attention to that space. And I just want you to breathe into your heart. And I want you to feel everything that's there. Everything. And this is a beautiful moment of surrender. And your mind might try to interfere, the thoughts of the day, the thoughts of the week, all the things that are going on in the mind. And that's okay. But to the best of your ability, just keep redirecting your attention back to your heart, back to your heart center. And just breathe into your heart and feel. Connect to it. Let your heart speak. Let it have a voice. What do you feel? What do you know? What do you sense? What's been missing? Just begin to take in whatever it is that you feel and experience. Whatever that is. And as you start to feel connected to your heart, I want you to ask your heart, what has it been trying to tell you? What has your heart been wanting to say to you? Because now you're listening. You're completely focused. You're completely present with this part of you. What has your heart been wanting to tell you? What has it been wanting to say to you? What has your heart been needing from you? Just feel all of it. There's no judgment here. Not from you, not your mind. You're just here, you're curious. You're here to receive. You're here to learn. You're here to be guided. You're here to know. You're here to acknowledge. And there's a part of you that's here to remind you that you're here for yourself. Because you haven't been here for this part of you for maybe some time, maybe a long time. Maybe you thought it was going to be somebody else's responsibility to have this conversation with your heart. Maybe you fell into the trap of believing that somebody else was going to come and listen to the needs of your heart, to the longings of your heart, to what your heart needed and wanted and desired. Or that maybe somebody else was going to hear what your heart had to say to you. But that's okay. Because you're here now. And so is your heart. And this is the moment of that truth that I was speaking of earlier when I asked the question. I asked you all to decide. That moment before, when I asked you all to decide, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this truth? Are you ready for this moment? And now the truth is here. This is the moment of truth, where you are with you and your heart. The source of life that's beating inside of you, and you don't have to tell it to do a thing. It's been here for you. It's been beating inside of you ever since the day you were created. And it continues to beat and give life. It feels all. It knows all. It bears all. It's never once betrayed you. It's never once left you. And it's withstood all that life has brought you. And it's still here, ready to give you more life, ready to give you more love, ready to give you more longing, more fulfillment. Your heart never gave up on you, because if it had, it wouldn't be beating. And yet it beats on and on and on, another day, another day, another day. Ready and waiting to collaborate with you, to lead you to the life that you deserve. But sometimes we forget. Our heart gets left behind because our mind wants to run the show. But not in this moment. This is the moment of truth, where you have an opportunity now to let your heart speak, to let your heart be, this reunion, this beautiful, beautiful moment where you get to access the divinity inside of you, that part of you that I was speaking about earlier, that spiritual bankruptcy, that alarm that's going off inside of every single one of us saying, hey, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. That void inside of us that we keep trying to fill because we're distracted, we're turned away from. We're turned away from this truth. We're turned away from this beautiful moment of just being present with this part of us, inside of us, that just wants to be acknowledged. It wants to have a voice, wants to have a conversation. We are the guardians of our heart, and our heart is the guardian of us. It's this beautiful allegiance and alliance that we have to the divine part of ourselves. God, source, the universe, whatever you believe, everything is accessed through the power of love. Where is that love inside of you now? As you connect even deeper to your heart, where is that force that you know that is love? Where is it inside of you right now? As you connect even deeper into your heart, as you pay even more attention, as you lean into whatever you're feeling, whatever you're sensing, whatever this moment is, just allow whatever is to be what it is. The experience of living is now. The experience of living is now, in the feeling, in the emotion, this beautiful dance, this beautiful moment where you go deeper into your heart, finding that place that you can sense that's calling out to you, that source called love, unconditional love, spiritual love, love without any failures, rejections, abandonments, or blemishes. This isn't human love. This isn't the failed love of the past relationships, the failures of family members and friends, and even the failure of our own self-love. No, this is greater. This is divine love. This is the love of God, the love of your soul, the love of the source, the love of an infinite force that's so powerful, so majestic, so beautiful, so pure, and so divine. And yet here it is inside of you. You are it, and it is you. There is no separation. And as you continue to feel and have this experience with yourself, this force that's always been a part of you, that's been dying to have this conversation with you, it's been crying out for this beautiful reunion, much like the story of the prodigal son in the Bible. A son who left his father to go out and pursue a life of his own, only to find that that life was miserable without the connection of his father. And then one day, the son found himself at rock bottom. He lost everything. He lost himself. He didn't know which way was up and which way was down. He didn't feel lovable. He didn't feel good enough. And he didn't feel as though even his own father, who loved him unconditionally, he didn't feel as though his own father could take him back. But he had nowhere else to go. So he decided, well, I'll go crawling back to my father, and maybe my father will let me be one of his slaves, because I don't deserve my father's love. I don't even deserve my own love. And so he went back to his father, and as his father saw his son off in the distance, he started running full speed, shouting and screaming at his son that his son had returned in excitement. He ran to his son and he threw his arms around him and saying, "You're home, you're home, you're home, you're home." And he gave his son his robe, brought him in, and he told him to prepare a feast. The son had returned. And that's what that feeling and sensation inside of you, your heart, your spirit, your divinity, this love, is the love of the Father that's excited that you've answered the call, that you're home. Here you are now. You stopped running. You stopped ignoring. You stopped trying to find love outside of yourself. And now here you are back home. Home where you belong, with your heart, with the divine love inside of you, with your truth, the unconditional love. Let that love be a part of you now. Let that love surround you. Let it cover you. Be one with this love. Let it fill every part of you. Let it speak to you. Let it course through you. Whatever experience that you're having, allow this force of love that's inside of you. Have that experience. Lean into that experience. What is it saying? What are you feeling? What's been missing? Just be present with this for a moment. Some of us, we've gone a lifetime. We ran from home a long time ago, and when I say home, I mean the heart. For some of us, this moment, this homecoming moment, coming back home to ourselves, coming back home to our truth, coming back home to our heart, to this spiritual divinity inside of us, it's been a long time, a lifetime. And what a beautiful moment it is now, after a lifetime, we finally get to be home, back where we belong. Feel everything. Let yourself feel, because when we feel, we heal. We can never heal what we're suppressing, what we're resisting, what we're not allowing, because we were told we weren't allowed to feel that. It was bad to feel that. It's not okay. Or it was embarrassing. Or nobody ever understood, or nobody ever cared. All the reasons that we believe that feeling is bad, that it's wrong. That we trained our nervous systems to betray us. So then when we do need to feel, feeling is the language of the heart. We've been taught that the language of the heart is wrong in our nervous system. How could we ever have this homecoming? How could we ever have this relationship with the most divine part of ourselves when our very nervous system was taught that the language of the heart was bad or wrong or was uncomfortable? It's like silencing the innocence of a child who just wants to be heard, a voice of a beautiful, innocent child who just wants to be heard. It's like punishing a child just for simply having a voice and using it. You did nothing wrong. You were never wrong. And your heart and these feelings were never wrong. It's beautiful. There's no part of you that the divine created where the divine had a flaw or made a mistake. You're beautiful. You're perfection. Let those feelings, let the sound of your voice speak through the heart. The sound, the language of the heart, the voice of your heart, allow it to speak through those feelings, through those emotions, and just let them come through you. And if they're strong, they're strong. If they're soft, they're soft. Just let it be what it is. It's okay. Intensity doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make it wrong. It just means that there's so much that the heart has been wanting to say for so long. It's been stored there. It's been built up. And finally, it's like when you try to hold your breath and you're underwater for too long, and then you know you got to come up for air. And when you finally come up for air, you gasp. When the heart has been suffocated for so long and it hasn't had a chance to breathe or be heard, there's so much it wants to say. So just let it be. Let it come through you. Let it express its entirety, its truth. And as we lean into this homecoming, this reunion of self, the reunion of self as we merge back with our truth, which is the divine. This is what spirituality is, by the way. This moment that you're having right here, right now, the courage to come home, the courage to go within, to feel, to experience without the judgment, to allow, to let this be this beautiful moment. This is the most spiritual thing anyone will ever or has ever done. This is spirituality, because this is you coming home to your spirit. And as you remain in this place of connection and union with the deepest and truest and most divine part of yourself, you can start to ask whatever question when you're ready. There's no hurry here. There's no rush. There's no time. Some of you may need more time to just sit and feel. Just let your heart embrace you and you embrace your heart. Just like this analogy of the prodigal son. You came back home to the heart and the heart ran threw his arms around you. And maybe this moment, you just need more time to sit and embrace each other and hold each other. And when you feel ready, when it feels appropriate and right for you. Ask your heart, your truth, the divinity inside of you. Ask it whatever question. What is the question that you've had? The question of all questions. We all have a primary question in life. Whether we've been aware of it or not, that's a different story. But I assure you, we all have a primary question that we've been asking. In fact, the way that we've been living our life, or what we've been living our life for, or what we've been hoping to gain or acquire by the life that we've been living. Our life is the metaphor. Our life is the greatest indicator of our primary question. What is that question for you? What is your primary question? The question that would change your life forever. The real question, not the superficial question, not the surface level question. The real question, the deepest question that you have. At the deepest level, the one that would really change your life. And when you're ready to ask your heart in this beautiful place where you're one with that divine part of yourself. And stay present. Stay present. Breathe into your heart. Feel what you're feeling. Stay connected to this beautiful place that many people neglect their entire lives. In this beautiful place and from this beautiful place, ask that question. Ask that part of yourself and just let your heart bring the answer. You'll know if it's your heart because you're in this beautiful place now. You'll know. You'll know that you know what the answer is when the heart speaks. Just stay present there. There's no hurry. Just allow the heart to answer that question. Maybe some of you have more than one question. That's okay too. If you get an answer to the first question and you have another question, ask the second question. This is the beauty of the divine. This is the beauty of spirit. A lot of times people in spirituality, they overcomplicate it and they make it sound like they're these angels and forces and these, dimensions and these other places that you have to go to find these answers. And I'm not saying that those things can't be real. But the answers that we need can always be found here within us, here in this beautiful moment, here in our heart. In fact, I would say that this is the first place to come for the answers. You don't have to go out and seeking angels and transurfing dimensions and all these other things. Just come here, back to your truth, back to your heart, back to your home. Meet the divine here within you. Let this be your guide. And what many people call their guides or their higher selves, this is what that force is. It's here in this moment. You connected to your heart. You connected back to your source, your center, your home. The source of all divine answers. And from this place, you can return again and again and again. There's no limit of how often you can come here when and if you choose. That's the beauty of this. That's why it's so profound and so powerful. It's free and it's always here. You have nothing you had to do to work for it or to deserve it. You don't have any hoops to jump through. There's no rules. You don't have to gain access. You don't have to pay something. You don't have to give up something. It's free, 100% unconditional and free and available at all times for you. This is your home. This is home. This is your guide. This is your truth. This is the source of all answers. Anything that you need can be found here. Anything. Everything can be found here. If you want love, love is here. In this place, here, now. In this experience, home, in the heart. If you want abundance, it's here. If you need ideas, it's here. If you need help, it's here. Everything that you need, all the tools, all the resources, everything that you need, the power, all the power of the infinite universe is here, now, inside of your heart, and you're one with it. How profound. How profound. And your ability to access it has nothing to do with who you are, what you've done, what you've not done, the good, the bad, the right, the wrong, the dogma, and all the other bullshit. It's free, it's here, it's now, it's yours, and you're one with it. So access it. Access it. Access this power as you continue to breathe into your heart and you feel it, as you ask your questions. Connect to it. Embody this moment. Get it in your nervous system so you can retrain your nervous system that's been taught that it's bad to feel. That the job of your life has been handed over to the mind, to the ego, as many of us have. As many of us have believed that as long as we allowed our mind, our logic, and our ego to run the show, that we would be safe. And I'm not saying that there isn't a time when we need to use our minds. And I'm not saying that there aren't times when our mind and our ego hasn't done a good job of keeping us safe. But not at the expense of this. Not at the expense of the heart. Not at the expense of disconnection, of lifelong misery, disconnected from this beautiful force and power that we're getting to experience right now together. Now, I want you to ask a specific question, an intentional question. And this is different than the questions that you may have asked earlier. This is a different question. I want you to ask this force inside of you. I want you to ask this force inside of you to manifest a wave, a powerful, powerful wave of unconditional love to wash over you now. I want you to ask this force inside of you to show itself to you in a profound, majestic, and powerful way by manifesting a wave of unconditional love. And I want you to lean even further into your heart. Breathe even deeper into your heart. Open yourself up to receive this wave of energy, this surge of unconditional love. Allow yourself to be vulnerable to this wave of unconditional love. And I want you to ask that force inside of you, share your love with me. Share your love with me. Share your love with me. I want it. I want your love. Share your love with me. I receive it. I open myself to it. I honor it. I desire it. I crave it. Or you can ask it in a way that feels right for you. You can use your own words. make that invitation to the deepest part of you. Ask it to manifest a wave of unconditional love to pour through you in a tangible way, a physical, tangible way where you can feel it throughout your body. And then just allow that deep divine force to give you what you ask. And let it course through you. And as this unconditional love flows through your body, it's correcting so many things in your mind, in your nervous system, healing past traumas. So many things are being corrected by allowing this unconditional force, the force of life, the force that holds the fabric of the very universe together, to work through you, to love you, to heal, because love heals all. Love corrects all. Allow that force to work its way through every fiber of your being. Allow your nervous system to absorb what true, unconditional, divine love feels like. For many of you, it's been so long. And for many of you, maybe this is the first time you've ever felt this. Maybe this is the first time you've ever felt this. And then I want you to ask your heart with your eyes closed, and as you're intimately connected now to the divine force inside of you, I want you to ask that force to bring you its power. And I want you to see in your mind, just allow whatever that thing is to show itself, to appear in your mind. You won't think it up. It won't be something you construct. It'll just come to you with your eyes closed. Let the force inside of you, the force that you're connected to, that's your heart, let it bring it to your mind's eye. Let it bring you its power. And see it. Whatever that looks like for you in your mind's eye. The power of this force of unconditional love. What does it look like? Allow it to come close to you. And then I want you to hold your hands out in your mind's eye. Stay connected to your heart. I want you to hold your hands out. And I want you to receive it. I want you to take the power. Whatever this thing is, whatever it looks like to you. And I want you to hold your hands out and receive it. Allow that force to hand this power to you. The power of unconditional love. And then I want you to take whatever that thing is that you see, whatever the image of that thing is, the power in your mind's eye, whatever that is, that's in your hands now, whatever that object, that thing is that's in your hands, that force of unconditional love, that power. I want you with your real hands, with your tangible real hands, I want you to reach out in front of you. And I want you to grab hold of it. Grab hold of that power. And I want you to tangibly bring it into your heart. And then I want you to go out again. Hold your hands out again. In your mind's eye and in real life. Hold your hands out again. And ask that force to give you even more. Because it's infinite. It's infinite. It's infinite unconditional love and power. Because unconditional love is power. It's the only power. and ask the divine force to give you even more, and put it in your hands. And when it's handed it off to you, I want you to pull it into your heart, all the way in with your hands, and press your hands against your heart, and push that force into your heart and feel it. Push that force into your heart and feel it. Press it against your heart. And then I want you to reach out again and ask it again. Give me more of that unconditional love. More of the power of your unconditional love. And let it put even more in your hands. And once your hands are full, bring it back into your heart again. And press it deep against your heart. And then I want you to say out loud or in your mind, whatever feels comfortable for you. I want you to say out loud or in your mind, whatever's comfortable for you. I am home. I am home. I am home. We are home. We are home. And I want you to feel what it feels like as you say this. I want you to feel what it feels like as you say this, as you stay connected to your heart, to this power, the power that you've now taken from the divine, and you've recycled it, you've brought it back into yourself. And as you acknowledge that you're home now, what does that feel like? What does it feel like to be back in your power, the power of unconditional love? From this beautiful place where now you are in your truth. This is what it feels like to be in your truth. This isn't the truth of the ego. This isn't the truth of the mind. This isn't the realm of opinions or thoughts or ideas. This isn't about things that are subjective. This is divine truth. This transcends the human mind and the human doings and the human understandings. This is the realm of the divine. This is the realm of unconditional love, the realm of absolute truth, absolute spirit, because spirit is truth and truth is absolute spirit, and both are the realm of unconditional love. And here you are, my friends, connected to the most powerful force in the universe, the force of unconditional love, which has been beating inside of you this whole time. Here you are in the power of your divine truth. And in this beautiful moment, this empowered moment, whatever you're feeling, whatever's coursing through your body in this moment, now is the time, in your power and in your truth, to take inventory of your life from the view of spirit, the realm of spirit, because now you've transcended the mind. The judgments aren't there anymore. The trauma isn't there anymore. The noise and all the BS that makes it so difficult and so confusing to know what's right. That indecision isn't there anymore. The fear isn't there anymore. All that stuff isn't there anymore. It's just unconditional love and power and truth as you stand in your truth as a spiritual being having a physical experience of unconditional love. From this viewpoint, the highest viewpoint, the highest spiritual viewpoint, take inventory of your life. And you'll notice that with the lens of unconditional love, not from the lens of the ego, but from the lens from this beautiful place of being connected to your heart, through the lens of unconditional love, as you look at the truth of your life, what is true about your life, the life that you're living, the life that you have been living, your current reality. As you take inventory of that, what do you see? What do you notice? What doesn't belong? What doesn't fit? What does belong? What does fit? What makes sense? What doesn't make sense? What answers are present that you couldn't see before? What blind spots are present that maybe you couldn't see before? What are areas that maybe you're noticing that things were missing? There wasn't accountability. There needed to be forgiveness. Whatever that looks like for you, you'll know it. You'll see it through the lens of truth. And you're able to access it from this powerful place of unconditional love as you remain connected to your heart. Absence of judgments and the ego and all the things that make it essentially impossible for us to have any type of insight into our lives, much less be able to know what to do to get unstuck or move forward towards the things that are in our highest good. But here you are. You're connected to your highest good because you are it and it is you and you're one with it right here, right now. So continue to breathe into your heart. Continue, and when you need to, or if you need to, anytime as you take inventory of your life, the truth, if you look over the entirety of your life up to this very moment in time, if and when you need to, you can always reach out again and ask the divine for that power, just like you did a second ago. And let it show up for you in your mind's eye, and reach out with your hands, your tangible hands, your real hands, and ask it to fill your hands with the power of unconditional love. And you can pull it back in and press it firmly against your heart. Bring that unconditional power of love back into your heart, if and when you need to. If you need more resources to continue to look objectively, truthfully, through the lens of unconditional love at your life, and just notice, because the truth will set you free, because the truth is here now. And what you'll notice about the truth is that the truth didn't need your ego. Your truth didn't need your mind. It's like the difference between looking at the world through black and white and now seeing the world in color. It's that different. The contrast is that different. As you're standing in your truth in unconditional love, the things that do not belong should be apparent, and the things that do belong should also be apparent. The truth will just appear. You'll just know. You'll sense it. The answers, whatever it is that you need to know, the divine is here to show you. And as you take inventory of what's not been working in your life, this beautiful, wonderful, non-judgmental, spiritual self-diagnosis, assistance from our highest self to diagnose where we've just simply got off our path. And for many of us, we didn't know. No one taught us this. How could we know? And it's okay, because here we are in this beautiful place of unconditional love. This beautiful place of course correction, where now that we do know how to access our truth, in an instant, in a moment, this beautiful divine moment, everything is going to change. Everything is about to change in this moment. Your life, my friends, is never going to be the same again. And it was this easy the whole time. It was this easy the whole time. And here we are with Spirit. Just take inventory of the truth of your life, and let that power of unconditional love show you what hasn't been working. You'll just know. You'll just know. And you won't forget. Don't worry. You won't forget. You'll just know. Keep breathing into your heart. Keep feeling what you're feeling. Stay connected to this power. And once you've taken inventory of all the things from this divine place of truth in your life that has not been working out for you, I want you to ask your source, your truth. I want you to ask the divine truth inside of you. I want you to ask, show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. This is the way forward. This is the way to your truth now. This is the way to your calling, your purpose, your destiny. This is the way that your life was meant to go now. Ask the divine to show you the way that your life was meant to go, the direction you should be going now. The path to love, to happiness, to fulfillment, to abundance, to creativity, that force inside of you that's been dying to get out of you. That place where you can be free in the world just as you are. You never have to hide again. You never have to try again. You never have to earn again. You never have to prove yourself. You can just be. You can be as you are, just like you are right now. Because in this moment of truth, as you experience you in the divine experiencing itself through you, now you know. You know that there was never a mistake. You were never the problem. The problem was never you. It never had anything to do with you. We were just distracted. We just weren't paying attention. We were just lost. But now you're home. This is why they said home is where the heart is. How could it not be? You're experiencing it. This is the truth. This is home. And standing here in your home, in your truth, as you connect to, again, that power of unconditional love. And again, as you need to, when you want to. Even if you just, because for no other reason, but you just want more. That's okay too, because there's enough. And this is actually one of those areas in life where it's okay to be stingy. It's okay to be greedy. It's okay to be a hoarder. The universe actually loves it. The source, the divine, the infinite inside of you loves it. It loves when you're greedy, when you're stingy, and you're hungry, and you're a hoarder, and you want more, and you want more, and you want to reach out. Get more, ask for more, tell it to come and give you even more of that power, more of that unconditional love. And reach out with your hands and pull more in. You can have as much as you want, whenever you want. There's no limitations. There's no throttle. There's no, you can't have any more. You get as much as you want, as often as you want. And as you need it, pull that energy, pull that life force back into you, that power. Ask the divine to show you the way forward. It showed you what wasn't working. But now, ask it to show you the path forward. What can my life be now? What's possible for me now? What can I do now with this power, connected to this source? What's possible for me now? What can I accomplish now? What can stop me now? Lean into that. Feel it. Feel your power. And that this power wasn't what you thought it would be, because it's not what the world shows us, what the world has taught us that power is. Power isn't about force and ego. It's not about control or dominance. Power isn't about trying to protect ourselves and fear and all that kind of stuff. Power is standing in unconditional love. Because in unconditional love, perfect love casts out all fear. And here you are in perfect unconditional love. You're one with it, and it is one with you. So now, become aware of the answers that the universe, the source, the power of unconditional love shows you now. Because we all have questions. We've all been wondering in life, worried about and anxious about all these things. How are we going to get to the better life? How are we going to get to the better life? The better life is here. The better life is now. The better life is standing in this power. The better life is what we can do with this power as we embody it again and again and again. So ask this unconditional force of love inside of you to show you the way forward. And allow the answers to come to you just like before. Just like a moment ago when we asked this force to show you what wasn't working, what needed to change, what needed to be different, what needed to be added. In a similar way, we're going to ask the force now, the force and power within you in your heart of unconditional love. What do I need to do? What do I need to become? What do I need to know? What do I need to give? Or just show me. Sometimes we don't even need to have a specific question. Sometimes the universe, God, source, universe, the power of unconditional love in your heart has had the answer waiting for you. For some of you, the answer came immediately. It came instantly. It was there. It's like, I've been waiting to give you this answer for a lifetime now. And you just basically opened the door by simply acknowledging and coming back home to the heart. But the answer is here. The path will be shown, the way forward, so that as you move forward into 2025 and the rest of your life will never be the same. And then from this place, this experience that you're having right here, right now, you can always come back here again and again and again and again. You can do this as many times as you need to, anytime that you feel lost or disconnected. Ideally, we would live from this place. Ideally, we would change our habits, our routines. We would change our lifestyle up to make space to come here, to do this, to connect back to this. We would live from this place. We would never forget this place because this is our truth. This is the more truer truth than any other truth that we experience. And the reason that we experience the thing that we call loss is because we drift from this place that you're experiencing called truth. And the further that we drift from truth, from unconditional love, from this source, from our heart, the further we drift from our heart, the further from home we go. And the further from home we go, the further loss we feel. And so now, we all understand collectively, we all understand where the source of our confusion is, the source of our lostness is, the source of our loneliness is, the source of our fear and indecision is. It's all from this place of disconnection. When we're not here, in this place that we're in now, we're not home. When we are not here, we are not home. But we're home now. And home is where we can always choose to be. So with the answers that you've received to both sets of questions, now is the time. Whenever you're ready, there's no hurry, there's no rush. Whenever you feel led or you feel ready, on one sheet of paper, you're going to write down the information that you were given when we asked the first set of questions. What hasn't been working? Why have I been stuck? When you took inventory of your life from the lens of unconditional love and truth, what was shown to you? What did unconditional love and truth teach you and show you about your life? Why has your life been so unhappy? Why have you not found love? Why have you not found that relationship? Why has your health been bad? Why has your money been bad? Whatever your situation in life is, whatever your unique circumstance and situation in life is, the truth was there to show you the cause, the root cause of those problems, not the symptoms, not the stuff that we call the problems, that we try to rectify the problems in our life, but we're never really happy because when we troubleshoot problems, we just get more problems. And it seems like the world and life never runs out of problems. We're always getting problems and more problems and more problems. And no sooner do you think you're about to solve one problem, then you get 5 more problems. So obviously, we're doing something backwards. We're doing something wrong. Focusing on the problem never seems to resolve the problems. But from this place of divine truth, you have insight to something greater than the problem. You got to see what was real, what was true. And you get to experience it from unconditional love and not the ego, not judgment, not fear, but from power, from clarity. So what was that for you? And it doesn't have to, it's up to you, whatever feels comfortable for you. If you feel like there's a lot that you want to write, by all means, don't limit yourself to what you write down. You can write anything down. You can write what you feel, what you felt. Maybe the answer that you received when you asked that question was an emotion. Maybe you saw something in your mind's eye. Maybe it was an object. Maybe it was a stream of information that came through to you, like advice, or maybe there was just a knowing, a sensation of like, well, I know this isn't right for me. I know that person isn't right for me, and now I understand why. Whatever it is, there would have been a peace that surpasses understanding attached to it, because that's how divine truth and unconditional love works. Unconditional love in the heart doesn't use fear to show you things. Fear is non-existent in love, in any form of love. If it's actual, true, unconditional love, if it's pure love, if it's divine love, there is no fear. There can only be peace. But there's a certain type of peace that exists within truth. It's peaceful, but it's confident. It's peaceful, but it's objective. It's peaceful, but it's real. It's peaceful, but it's non-resistant. It's peaceful, but it's powerful. It's peaceful, but it's prosperous. So whatever those answers were for you, write those down on your first piece of paper. And when you've completed that, on a second sheet of paper, a separate piece of paper than the first one, what answer did you get when you asked that divine force that you're connected to still to show you the way forward? What is the pathway forward for you? What are the answers to the life that you deeply and truly desire? To the desires of your heart, the love you desire, the relationship you desire, the money, the job, the passion, the purpose inside of you. This, whatever that thing is inside of you that's wanting to come out, it's a desire. Maybe it's multiple desires. But it's a spiritual desire. It's not superficial. It's not the surface level things that we reach for when we're just unhappy. No, this is the stuff that's way, way, way deeper. This is the stuff that you know is a part of your destiny. This is the stuff that makes life worth living. This is the meaning of life type of stuff. What was the answer? What did the divine tell you inside of you? The force of unconditional love. What is the pathway forward? How are we going to go towards that thing now? We know what hasn't been working. We just wrote that down. So what's the pathway forward? And whatever that answer was for you, again, whether it's sensation that showed up in your body, whether it was a thought, whether it was a knowing, whether it was a stream of information, whether it was knowledge, whatever that is, and however it showed up for you, just write it down, acknowledge it. There's no right, there's no wrong. And what's beautiful about this is you're learning to understand the language of your heart, the language of spirit. Because whatever you're experiencing now could potentially be the way that your intuition, the spiritual part of you, may choose to speak to you most often. So this is a beautiful opportunity to recognize another part of ourselves that we've been unconsciously aware of. Because as we move forward in our lives, our spirit, our heart, our truth, this deepest part of us and ourselves may choose to speak to us again through that same means, that same sensation, that same stream of thoughts, those same types of visualizations that show up in your mind. So be acutely aware of everything happening as you stay connected to the source. The more aware you are of everything that's going on, as much as you can be, just be aware of it so that in the future you can be aware of it again. And this is how we learn to live in spirit. This is how we learn to live inspired. To be inspired is to be in spirit, and to be in spirit is to be inspired. And as we're inspired, the inspiration of spirit moves through us towards our fulfillment, because fulfillment is our birthright. Spiritual fulfillment is us living from this place of truth and just going out into the world and just living a way that's different than the world. There's two ways to live. We can live detached from spirit and in our mind and in our egos. And we can be human doings, or we can be human beings, being in spirit. And those that are disconnected, they just don't know any better. A lot of people didn't even know that they had a choice, that they even had two choices to live one way or the other. So how could they know any better? They weren't given a choice. And we're not here to judge either way. We're not here to judge either way. This moment is about our truth. This moment is about our destiny. And as you have clarity about what you feel the universe has told you about the pathway forward, write it down on that sheet of paper. And then in one last final moment, once you have your two sheets of paper, I want you to close your eyes, reconnect to your heart, breathe back into your heart, put your hand back over your heart, whatever you were doing before. It should be much quicker, much easier now. You should be able to just slip right back to that place. In this energy, this beautiful energy. just take a moment to reconnect, to breathe into your heart one more time. And I want you to say out loud or in your mind, whatever feels comfortable for you. I just want you to say thank you. I want you to thank your heart, that part of you, the deepest part of you. Just tell it thank you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for caring so much about me that you were willing to go to great lengths to get me here, right now. Because it's not by accident, it's not by coincidence that you're here experiencing this right now. That the universe moved mountains and did the impossible and orchestrated a divine appointment for you to be present in this moment, having this experience right here, right now. All the things that had to happen and that force inside of you conspired to get you here, to connect you here, to be here. Because all that force inside of you wants you to know is that you are loved. You are loved. You are worthy. You are always worthy. You have always been loved. Love is not something that can be given to you. Love is something that you are. Just take this moment, just a brief moment, to express gratitude to that deepest part of you in whatever way feels right for you, to say thank you. Thank you for aligning through fate, through destiny, against all odds, aligning all the things for serendipity to happen, for me to be in this moment, because you cared so much about me that you would bring me back home to you. And now that I'm back home with you, I understand so much more than I ever did before. Maybe more than you've ever understood in your entire life. This life-changing moment is orchestrated by the divine right here, right now. Because that's how important you are. That's how important love is. That's how important your future is. That's how important the future and fulfillment of your life is, your mission, your purpose, and all the people and all the things that lay out ahead of you that you can't even imagine. That now, as a result of this connection, you get to go out with this power of unconditional love. Who will you touch? Who will you become? What will you share? How will you go out and change the world? How will your life be changed? How will you share this gift to others who are in a similar place that you were just a few minutes ago, an hour ago? Everything changes when you become love. Everything changes when you become love. When you come home back to love, back home to your truth, and you embrace it, you embody it. So just think that part of yourself in whatever way feels good for you. Just think that part of yourself. Say thank you. Thank you for loving me so much that you would move heaven and earth to come track me down in my lostness, in my confusion, in my fear, to get me here, to bring me back home. And as you stay in the truth of this power, when you're ready, I want you to obviously be careful. And I want you to take the piece of paper where you wrote down what didn't work, what wasn't working. What in your life needed to go? What needed to change? What's been holding you back? And I want you to acknowledge everything. Just take a moment. And I want you to just acknowledge everything that you wrote down. Meaning be present, be aware of it. Actually acknowledge it. Take it into the fullness of your being. So that you know what you wrote, what you said. That you know that you understand it. That you've interpreted it. And now that you know that these were the things that were not working, the things that needed to change, we're ready to implement transformation. What is transformation? Transformation is nothing more than energy changing from one form to another form, or what we call alchemy, changing lead into gold. In your hand, this piece of paper was once the things in your life that you thought may never change, were impossible to change. And if you didn't think those things, then maybe they were just the causes of the reality that you were not wanting to experience because they weren't in your highest good. And so what we're going to do is, when you're ready, I want you to alchemize this piece of paper. I want you to set it on fire. And fire is the passion, the power of transformation. And in doing so, the things that held you back, the things that weren't working, the things that your divine truth showed you are being transformed and released into an energy that's now going to serve you. So at your own pace, when you're ready, I want you to light that piece of paper on fire. And I want you to stay present with it. I want you to watch the fire consume that piece of paper. And I want you to feel what it feels like to know that everything that was standing in the way, all the things that weren't working, the life that you hated living, all the things in the past, all the things that were holding you back, as that piece of paper is consumed by the fire, that it's done. And I want you to say it either in your mind or out loud with your hand over your heart. Stay connected to your heart. Stay connected to that beautiful divine truth. And I want you to say in your mind or your heart, it is done. It is done. And as that piece of paper is completely burned up, that energy is now transformed into the power that will serve your future. All the past, all the pain, everything behind you, everything that's got you here to this moment now has been consumed and transformed and transmuted into the energy and the power that's about to serve you going forward into your future, the life that you're meant to live. Now I want you to take the second piece of paper and I want you to be present. I want you to stare at this piece of paper and I want you to take in what you wrote down. This is the pathway forward. This is the pathway forward. This is where we'll start. This is where we'll begin. Whatever you wrote down, just be present with it. Acknowledge it. Embody it. And when you're ready, I want you to light this piece of paper on fire. Stay present with the process. Stay present in your heart. And as this piece of paper is consumed, know that it is also being transmuted. But this is different. This is the energy of desire. This is the energy of vision, of imagination, of creation. This is the energy of intent, of motive, because nothing can be done without a clear intention, a motivation, an inspiration, a drive. This is you becoming one with the universe and collaborating on an energetic level, a vibrational level, mind, body, and spirit, declaring that the new life that you were meant to live and have and experience is and will be yours. It's not even an if anymore. It will be yours. It is yours. And this is the declaration. This is the moment of the declaration of your independence and your freedom and the beginning of your true spiritual journey towards your ultimate fulfillment, and a fulfillment that will transcend you, because it will contribute beyond you, because that's the beauty of true fulfillment. It's the fulfillment that we get within our spirit, but it's also the fulfillment we get as we share our spiritual experience with those around us. Because love, God, source, the universe, love, all of us, we are simply the act of love reproducing itself to experience itself. Love reproducing itself to experience itself. That's all God is. God is just unconditional love reproducing itself to experience itself. Reproducing itself to experience itself. That is what infinity is. When you look at the infinity symbol, if you trace the infinity symbol out in front of you with your finger, as you go around the infinity symbol, God is just unconditional love reproducing itself to experience itself. And we are that force. We are the force of unconditional love. Simply reproducing love to experience more love. And that is what you're here to do in the unique and profound way that you've been created to do it. And now you will. Now you will. So one last time with your hand over your heart, connecting to that source, say, it is done. It is done. It is done. And hold that space in your heart. 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 We're going to go deep. We're going to get the actual answers. The last step within every single one of us is an archetype, a representation of a certain set of skills and abilities and power. We all have these archetypes within us, these positions, these points of power that exist within us. The first is the warrior. And the warrior is that part of us, when connected to unconditional love and truth, as you are right now, can stand up against any challenge, can face any fear, will fight to protect unconditional love. There is no mountain too high to climb. There is no monster too big to slay. The warrior can face anything and all things. It rises to the challenge. It will fight when necessary, not to harm, not to control, not to dominate. It fights spiritual battles. It fights fear. It confronts fear. It never runs. It never retreats. It never hides. It is the great protector, the warrior, and exists within all of us. With your hand on your heart, I want you to connect to the warrior. I want you to connect to the power of the warrior in you. I want you to feel in your body, where is the warrior? Sense the warrior inside of you. Call out to the warrior, the truth inside of you, the part of you. And where do you feel that power? and ask it to come forth. Where is the warrior? And I want you to connect to the warrior. And if you're in a place and you're comfortable, whatever feels comfortable for you, I want you to make the sound of the warrior inside of you. As you allow this energy of the warrior to take you over, I want you to make the sound of the warrior. Get it in your body, get it in your nervous system. Connect all the way. Make the sound of the warrior. Feel the warrior in your body. Make the sound of the warrior. Do it again. Do it again. You didn't come this far to quit now. Now is the moment. Now is the moment of truth. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is where we cut through everything. We go through, we pierce the veil, and we extract and we pull forth the answers that we've all been waiting and longing for. And as you stand in the power of the warrior, call forth that warrior inside of you and stand in the power of your warrior. And I want you to ask the warrior, who do I need to become? What do I need to do? What do I need to give? What do I need to change? And just let the warrior speak to you. Let the answers come out. And I want you to say them out loud. Because when you do it with your body, you get it in your nervous system. This is where lasting change is from. It can't just be a thought. When you do things with your body, you program your body. It programs your nervous system. What does the warrior say? All I need to do is, all I need to know is, all I need to become is, all I need to give is. Let the warrior tell you the truth. The energy of the warrior, the fighter, the conqueror, the protector. What is the warrior telling you? Just say it. Let it come out of you. Let the answers pour forth. All I need to know, all I need to do, all I need to become, all I need to give is. Let the warrior speak. And stand in that power of your warrior. And feel the power of your warrior. Connect to the warrior. Within every one of us, there is a playful part of us. We all have a magician inside of us. A playful part of us. The magician is different than the warrior. The magician doesn't use weapons. The magician isn't a fighter. The magician looks at life like a game. Life is just a game. It's just a puzzle. It's fun. We can just make life more playful and fun. What would life be like? I want you to call forth the magician inside of you. The magician uses magic to change things in life. The magician is playful, fun, doesn't take anything serious really. The magician knows that life is just a game. Life should be about play, excitement, and fun, and magic. What if life could be more magical and playful and exciting? So I want you to call forth on the magician now. The power of the magician in you. Where do you feel that playfulness, that excitement inside of you? Call on that force inside of you. The playful, fun, the magical force inside of you. That witty character inside of you. And just allow that force, that energy to embody you. And when you've connected to the magician, I want you to make the sound of the magician. Whatever that sound is, what is that playful sound of the magician? Make the sound of the magician. Do it again. And stay connected. Call on that magician's playfulness and make the sound of the magician. And connect to that playful, exciting, fun energy. Life is just a game. There's no problem that can't be solved with a little bit of play. We can just wave a magic wand. We can do a trick. We can pull a rabbit out of our hat. And I want you to ask the magician, as you stay connected to this magician power coming through you, all I need to know is, all I need to do is, all I need to become is, all I need to give is. And I just want you to say out loud, whatever comes to you, whatever comes to you, just say, let the answers come forth from the magician. All I need to know is, all I need to do is, all I need to become is. Let the magician speak. Let the magician speak to you. Let the answers come. The third archetype within every single one of us is the lover. And the lover is that part of us that's full of passion, love, romance, vulnerability, depth, intimacy, pleasure, sexuality. I want you to call forth the lover inside of you. Where do you feel the lover in your body? Let the lover take you over now. Nothing in life, no problem in life can't be solved with love or passion or intimacy. The lover can solve problems that the warrior can't solve and the magician can't. Because there are only some problems that can be solved through love or passion or romance or excitement, even sexuality. Let the lover's energy take you over. Let the power of the lovers take you over. And when you've connected to the lovers, make the sound of the lovers. Let the energy of the lovers consume you. Make the sound of the lovers. And when you've connected to the energy of the lovers inside of you, ask the lover. Ask the lover inside of you. All I need to know is, all I need to do is, all I need to give is, all I need to become is. And just let the answers come out. Let the answers pour forth from you. Let the lover speak and say it out loud. Say it out loud. Whatever those answers are, all I need to do is, all I need to know is, all I need to become is, all I need to give is. Let the lovers lead and guide you. The fourth and final archetype that exists inside of all of us is the sovereign, the king or the queen inside of us. This is the highest power of all powers. This is the all-knowing part of us, the infinite, who knows all, sees the end from the beginning from the end. The sovereign has the wisdom of all ages. And it can troubleshoot problems in a way that the warrior can't, the magician can't, and the lovers can't. The sovereign has insights into things that nothing else has insights to. I want you to call on the power and the energy of the sovereign inside of you. Connect to the sovereign. Where do you feel the sovereign in your body? Connect to that part of you. Touch that part of you if you feel so inclined. And when you've connected to the sovereign, make the sound of the sovereign. Make the sound of the sovereign inside of you. Connect to the sovereign's energy and make the sound again. Let the sovereign speak. Connect to that energy. And from this place of connecting to the sovereign, ask the sovereign. All I need to know is, all I need to do is, all I need to become is, all I need to give is. And say it out loud. Say it out loud. What is the sovereign saying? What are the answers from the sovereign? All I need to know is, all I need to do, all I need to become, all I need to give is, and let the truth come forward through you. And standing in this profound place of power, one last time, to cement everything that you've done from the beginning to the end, I want you now, in this moment, I want you to point to the future. Just reach out and intuitively, wherever you are right now, intuitively, I want you to point to the future. Now I want you to point to the past. I want you to point to the present. Now I want you to point to the future again. Now I want you to point to the past. And then I want you to point to the present. Now, in this power that you harness now, as a divine being having a physical experience, the you that you've always needed to become is here and present now. Every part of you is now aligned. There's no part of you that's no longer unaligned. This is you. This is the real you. There's never been a you like the you that exists in this moment now or in this power. This is your moment of truth. One last time, with your eyes closed, connected to your heart, call forth the power of unconditional love, the force inside of you. Ask it for its power, like you did before. Ask it to come to you with that power. See it in your mind's eye like you saw it before. In whatever way, shape, or form that it brought it to you before, let it bring it to you again. And with your physical, tangible hands, reach out. Reach out to receive that power. This time I want you to take more than you took the last times before. I want you to take as much as you can. Just keep taking more into your hands, more into your hands, more into your hands, more into your hands. Just keep taking more and more. Get as much of it as you can in your hands. And when you're ready, I want you to pull all of it, all of that unconditional love and power back into you. And I want you to press it firmly. Press it firmly against your heart. And I want you to speak confidently. You can yell, you can scream, or you can whisper, it doesn't matter, and say, I am here. And say it again, I am here. Say it again, I am here. Let every fiber of unconditional love, the force of the divine, wash and reign over you and wash through you as you stand as one with the divine, in your full power, in your full truth. Your future path cemented. The way forward is known. The path forward is inevitable. And from this place, you cannot fail. From this place, you will not drift. There is no going back. There is nothing behind you. There is no past in the future. This moment is the moment where you've drawn the line in the sand for the rest of your life. And from this moment, as you move forward through the rest of your life, nothing will ever be the same again. This is your transformation. This is your rebirth. This is the phoenix rising from the ashes. This is the you that you've been waiting your whole life to become. So now, this is the toast to your former self. And this is the birth of your new forever. This is your true Not only new year, this is your new life. Welcome your new life. Welcome it in. Just let it come into you. Welcome it in. Say, I welcome you. Say it again, I welcome you. Say it again, I welcome you. This is your new life. This is your new life. Now stand in this power. Just stand in this power. Just soak in it. Just feel everything you're feeling. Know everything you're knowing. You've waited a lifetime. Some of us, hundreds of lifetimes. Some of you have incarnated thousands of lifetimes to get to this lifetime, to stand in this moment that you're standing in right here, right now. And here you are. Here we are. This is the conscious collective. This is the divine in you, in me, in all things, the oneness of all. The oneness in all and the love of all existing and coexisting in this moment, right here, right now. Just feel it. Just a little bit longer, feel it. You've waited a long time for this. Acknowledge it. Let it wash over you. Connect to it. And now know the rest of your life, is never, ever, ever going to be the same. Now just take this moment, just a second here, a moment of just silence with yourself. Just sit with yourself here for a moment, with your hand over your heart. And just be still for just a moment. Sometimes the stillness and the silence has an intimacy and a beauty and a power all of its own. We get so caught up in the noise and distractions of life, busy, doing, worrying, that we forget that we're even living. All the things that we think that we have to do to live, when we violate the simple principle of just being. So let's just be for just a moment. You just went to places that very few people ever go. You just took the courage that few people have ever had the courage to do the things that you've just done. that you just showed up for yourself in profound and life-changing ways. You made important decisions. And you gave yourself the greatest gift that anyone could ever give to themselves, which is the gift of transformation, the gift of a changed life, the gift of a connection to the divine. And it was there all along. You've been here all along, the real you. So how beautiful is this? How beautiful is this place that we can be here experiencing our truths. And it didn't cost us anything. We didn't need anything. It was all here inside of us the whole time. Inside of you, inside of me. Different people, different backgrounds, different ages, different races, different cultures, different everything. And yet, we can unify over something that transcends all of that, which is a divine truth, unconditional love, that we're all made of. And it's never not here. It's never something you had to learn, earn, or get, or achieve, or be good enough for. Because it is you, it is me, and it's us. And for every single one of you that participated in this spontaneous, out of nowhere event and exercise, I personally am so fucking proud of you. And it doesn't matter if I know you or don't know you. I'm honored to be here with you, sharing this energy with you because I feel it. I can feel each one of you together and individually in your own way. The sensation of all of it. And I'm proud of every fucking one of you because it takes courage. It takes courage to make a decision. It takes courage to play full out. It takes courage to put yourself first and do something that may even be a little bit weird or uncomfortable, unusual if you've never done it before. For those of you that chose to go on this transformational journey with me and through this, I honor you. Deeply honor every single one of you. And I'm so fucking proud of you. And I assure you that as you move forward connected to this truth that you found within yourself, everything is about to change for you. Your new years in your new life starts now. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. All the other information is in the description box below. And as always, my friends,
I'm not a bloody psychic.